센티널 경기에서 이제 저희는 그냥 하던 대로 하면은 충분히 그냥 이길 수 있을 거라고 생각하고.
New Turn, they play very different from Europe or Brazil or NA. Or Brazil or NA, like they played very, very weird. So if you don't have a game plan versus them, you might get caught off guard.
그렇게 생각하면 뭐 그렇게 되는 거 그렇게 생각할 수도 있지. 결과는 모르는 거니까이라고 말해주고 싶네요.
We don't have much of a read on us. I think we've proven everybody wrong this far, and I think we'll continue to do so and keep winning.
Tem grandes jogadores, tem o Scream, que tem uma mira muito boa, é time muito tático.
Vikings, they're definitely a strong team. They like to get in your face. It's going to be a great match. Vikings, EU is definitely coming for you.
With a version 1 upset, the lowers are rumbling with deciding matches between EU, NA, and Brazil.
FNATIC going into it is definitely favorites. Their team play and all of that is really, really strong. We're just going to play our game and show up.
We just don't want to make the Europe set. We want to make them proud, and I feel like we have pretty high chance to get to the grand finals.
Here we go, ladies and gents. It is time to reignite the flame between EU and NA, and it looks like the Purple Cobra. I think it's version 1 is the actual name, but they put on a show from both sides. And I've got to say it. Look, the full NA desk. Only Wyatt picking FNATIC here. I think we both know, though, Hypoc, this is going to be such a close game between these two. Pioneers of the current meta from both regions. Both coming up with similar ideas how to approach that Viper post plant. Both of them catching teams by surprise and maybe making it through in place of teams that maybe people pitted first in front of them, but proving they deserve to be here nonetheless. Both looking good, but both down in the lower bracket run.
Yeah, they are indeed. I know obviously the veto itself was discussed briefly on the desk. I think if anybody's been paying attention, expectations-wise, we know Brian's going to go FNATIC unless something goes very drastically wrong. I'm expecting the Instaban coming through a split, and it absolutely is. So the map pool set, it's just the order to decide here, Lauren.
Yeah, let's see what FNATIC go for now. Straight into Icebox. First pick here now. Didn't go so well last time against NA.
No, it did. Coming off a strong performance versus X10, though, the 13-4, where I think really they ran away with it. So potentially a little bit of a confidence booster coming back there. Obviously, V1 going to start on defense as well. Second map, actually, V1 going to select Ascent here, where we haven't actually seen FNATIC play just yet. Although it has been on the table a couple of times for a few of these vetoes.
Okay, and Haven. Last map. Do you think we're making it there? Do you think it's going all 3?
I think if we could have begged for any setup here, it'd be Haven to be the decider, right? I think that's potentially the most exciting map we could see. I mean, potentially with Ascent coming in second, there's a chance, right? FNATIC, I guess, live games-wise, no real reps here yet at Masters. We've only seen them on Haven and Icebox, so it's definitely... It's on the cards. I mean, that's as much of a setup we could get for a 3-mapper, right?
Yeah, I'm with you. The cat ears are back out. They've been glued back in after being cut to pieces by old Sun Team yesterday, but it is all gravy. It's first time to get to see both these teams now in the elimination area, right? Because version 1, they made it through that first round of the upper bracket, got past the likes of Liquid, looked solid doing it as well. But now, life on the line, it gets a bit more pressured, right?
It does indeed, and I think, you know, they started talking about a couple of these bits on the desk, but this is going to be so interesting to see, because really regionally we didn't see FNATIC get tested in sort of this meta as we get straight into the Aiden Select actually presented by Prime Gaming. I don't expect any surprises here. I think both teams are going to lean heavily on where they've already got reps and those comfort zones we've already talked about, Lauren.
Okay. And again, we've had a couple of win conditions being talked about, one being Durka and the other being Penny. And Penny has been impressing. Durka, we've seen him be answered in one of the games by Sentinels, I feel. That was the only time I've seen him really be quelled by anyone. I don't think we've seen that yet for Penny. Even in their losses, he was still finding space. His value in catching rotations, that punishment on split was, again, phenomenal. Whether it be that kind of pop-off play, the highlight play, or just that really integral kill, he will always seem to get you that. So again, that matchup between these two is going to be such a highlight in this game.
Oh, and actually, slight adjustment. In last appearance, Zelsus was on Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken. So potentially, this is V1 leaning even heavier, I guess, onto that post-plant kind of composition here. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not we see a huge kind of step change in what we see coming out of them, because I mean, you got to accredit versus Crazy Raccoons. V1 really excelled on attack, and actually it was more the fast-paced aggression, not so much, you know, kind of the reliance on that post-plant strength in terms of utility.
And welcome to the real deal. This is tournament life on the line between EU and NA. FNATIC being your EU representatives here on the attacking side, but look at V1 coming in on this, playing straight up through middle. 3 players pushing at Durka on the other side. Greets Vanity with a smile, sends him to his grave, but a quick trade out. Penny right back in, gains mid control. This, if anything, should spur on that hit towards B, but you can see it. Jammies, oh, he's ready.
Ready to send out the snakebite to try and deny this initial plant coming through. I think FNATIC just going to wait on the cooldown, at least, of the Viper Util, and actually going to go for an off-default plant here, so
nice
because if they've got a really good read on exactly what V1 going to try and do.
Well, you get past the kind of meta play, the util play, you still have some real firepower left with Zelsis, Effys, and Penny to try and play this back in. Touch on the spike, trying to draw some attention. Does get Magnum to swing, does claim Penny. And now Effys and Zelsis kind of pinned in here. Magnum on that mid-split. It was something that was highlighted before as how good his lurks can be on this map specifically. Let's keep that in the back of your mind, and he's just going to take the attention. But it's buying time here. They've cleared out that flank, but it's cost them a great deal of time.
They've still got a lot to do here. 3 players to find, and a couple of key members still alive. Both are going to find the first. Effys will fall. Zelsis, no choice but to get some progress on that defuse. They come through, and a pistol round win for FNATIC. That's the best possible thing I think we could see coming into today. A few of them have eluded them along the way, but that right there, perfect example, right? A few key things. FNATIC, a slight adjustment, trying to get a post-plant set up away from default, something that they know V1 have got prepared utility for. So just straight away, round 1, a tick in the box for FNATIC.
Let's talk about that spike plant as well. A little off traditional spot because, hey, we saw it instantly. Jammy's so ready for that, especially in this meta. I want to see more of that. Slight adaptation, little bits of change-ups for both sides because they're going to have to know these two teams are so hyper-aware of the meta. And this is something that I think Sean Gare said really well on Twitter, that this is going to be a real test for V1's depth. We're going to see them tested in ways that maybe other teams don't necessarily do the same sort of thing. But it is going to be a bit of a stack coming in this time around. V1 in the right place for this, but already first pick does go down towards Durka, who wants a bit more. Gets a dink for it, though, down to 46. Good pick up there. Vanity and Zelsis. Yeah, the spike's planted, but the damage is being done. Boaster swings right back in, doubles on it. That's sick work from Boaster. Threats being made out of so little, though. V1 making this costly, and it ain't over yet.
That's Zelsis stuck backside, still 22 HP. Jammy's unable to really do anything there to dig him out. Magnum's still got 2 nanos, so an opportunity again with this kind of off-default plant here all the way at backside. They're going to find the first. Anyway, Zelsis down to 22 HP. Not much longer for this world, and I think you make a really interesting point, but I want to come back to this. I think expectations-wise, FNATIC were kind of born in this meta, right? We talked about them being the pioneers. The playbook depth-wise, I've got to give the advantage to FNATIC, right? So for them to go away and kind of work on something to address this, and also, I mean, personally for me, I've always credited FNATIC for being very proactive on defense, right? So when we do come to the round switch, I think we're going to be seeing the biggest adjustment from FNATIC to address what V1 have brought to Masters.
Now, looking at the buy coming out for FNATIC here, this is actually a big investment as well, the 3 rifles coming through. So this isn't your traditional, like, bonus round, but Durka, this is what we've got to be looking at, is Durka's start in these sort of rounds roll your mind back to that previous Sentinels game, he was shut down a great deal. However, this time, a quick find on Jammies is a big pickup.
So Magnum doing the usual. This is pretty much their default on attack. They send a lot of presence towards B and leave Magnum kind of lurking outside here with the turret to kind of lock down everything on that side of the map. Potentially, actually, Effie's now comes drifting under Boiler as they creep again towards B. Still 2 members for V1 posted on A site as well, so it's only really Zelsis to hold this down for the time being. So look for him to at least survive out, maybe try and get an entry here. Turret gets smoked off.
Yeah, very aware of this so far. Zelsis, though, still trying to buy the time. He does, as you said, he is on his own, but he does have that utility with him. A late lean comes out as well from Penny, who's playing kind of deep on this one. Durka waiting to see if Penny oversteps. I think Penny's going to play pretty patient in this one. I doubt he's going to overstep the mark until required. There's the first bit of utility shown, and the spike plant being toyed with. Durka, where did you get that from? Zelsis removed from the site. While that happened, Magnum still doing this working middle. He's expecting the play to potentially come through that A side, but actually it's Vanity. Yeah, he's so aware, but this still buys time. They can't really split through middle, and you're down to these 2 rifles that I'm sure V1 really would love to keep, but at this point, does Magnum push on it? They both seem so aware. Vanity does get him, so that's Magnum gone, but this is going to be a fallback. At least they bought themselves some time. No, Durka quickly on the hunt, removes the rifle from Penny, and Vanity just going to try and live through this.
We'll get the consolation, but I mean, a big win for FNATIC here, keeping 4 alive. Also, Boaster going to obviously take the upgrade there. He did bring a Spectre into this one. Give me the 3rd closed out for FNATIC, and again, it's... First blood goes their favor, and it's kind of that slow, methodical push where they're still very, very aware of the possibility of, you know, potentially a 3rd player through here. But Durka finding this one, I guess just pure anticipation in terms of positioning there. A really nice hit once again from FNATIC. So well considered, and I mean, you know, eyes do go towards Magnum and Boaster in terms of flank control and finding value in their lurks already. We're seeing V1 kind of be aware of it, but not able to deal with it comfortably, at least on that buy round there.
No, and considering we are on the Sheriffs and the Hero Rifle left over for Vanity, keep in mind this is a great map for version 1. A couple of losses, but that's TSM in their strength and Sentinel, so a pretty reasonable couple of losses. Jammies, though, always going to be pushed out position. Yeah. Nicely done. Good consideration. Very good usage of utility to ensure safety. You don't want to let, you know, some of those positions that Jammies is trying to get away with go unchecked. So good work for FNATIC so far. All players on rotation, though. Vanity is still your danger man in this round.
In here, just going to take a breather. Again, FNATIC anticipating maybe V1 try to re-aggress back onto these kills going against them. Actually, you know, Recon Bolt going to be destroyed, and I'm not sure how many actually got pinged off that, but it looks like it's going to be the green light, at least for FNATIC, to progress towards site. Penny gets spotted out, has to drop down. Effie's and Penny both here now. Durka trying to line up the same shots once again, but no value this time around. A clean, comfortable plant. It'll be difficult here for V1 to crack back in. It's Vanity that's got to find the entry here.
Yeah, this has to be a clean pick too. Just you want to keep that HP as high as they can. If they could nab a rifle away, that would be sublime, but it's very unlikely considering the positioning. Vanity desperate to find that first way in. A couple of tags. Yeah, they're finding a bit of damage here. Domer a little lower, Durka, but they still stand. And no one's giving them anything. FNATIC are sitting on this one. A couple of... Look at that swing on it. That is so good. Magnum takes the focus. Durka on the swing. They are going through all of this. Crossing the T's, dotting the I's. FNATIC mean business today. They're leaving nothing to chance. This is a different look to them. Keep in mind, yeah, there was not too much danger there. It was Sheriffs, but that hero rifle, but they're keeping clean rounds. They're being so meticulous in post plants. They're using good utility early. Hypoc, this looks like a solid FNATIC.
Yeah, it is, and it's just that slight adjustment here where they find, again, save round for V1, and I guess a little bit deeper in terms of early round aggression, but it gets absolutely punished. And you're right, it's meticulous. It's the diligence they're able to show in the early round in terms of utility, positioning, clearing out all these kind of rat spots, I gotta say, anticipating Vanity of all people, as you see him right here inside the smoke. But again, the utility, gonna deal some damage, keep him honest.
Yeah, he's going to be forced back now. He can try and buy some time to allow himself at least safety to fall back away from this. And maybe a good read from FNATIC here, knowing that there is going to be that op-out for Penny now. You can see the economy. You're going to know that that's something they can go towards. However, we know as well that, my word, Durka just digs Vanity out of the position straight away. Up on the ults as well. Speaking of the Killjoy out that came in, that's going to give Durka a bit of room, but Penny says no. Mid-air takes him down, drags him to his grave, and now the 4v4 post-plant. And we still have Viper up. Keep eyes on Mystic. Full utility that he needs on this one left in check. So this is a tough retake for V1. They're going to know they're up against it here.
Dome are going to find Zelsis on the way in. Jammy's actually going to trade that one back out now. So going in favor of V1 at site at least. But here comes the utility now. The contingency plan. Magnum just got to hold down the fort for the time being. First snakebite goes through. No defuse coming through yet. Two players very low HP. Jammy's actually going to deal with it there. They do actually have time for the defuse, so a little bit of a slip there. Magnum, I guess, falling just too early, and Mystic not able to fully reset off of that. He's got to deal with the threat coming through, but really good stuff. I mean, V1 get in early enough. Everything goes their way on site. They find the first 2 kills. Let's go with a nice little snap from Penny there.
Damn.
And again, this is the sort of thing we look for in the post-plan, right? They'll send Durka forwards. Durka can play very aggressive here, because even if he goes 1-for-1, in those scenarios, it all plays to FNATIC's strength, because it runs the clock down.
I have to highlight Jammies as well. What an MVP of a round there. I thought it was going to be the other Viper coming up good, but no, Jammies just absolutely man-moding it forward, just taking the fight and winning it in such succinct time. It was so valuable to get that kill quickly. However, back in we go. Penny this time going to get a fight towards Long. Last time they did lean away. Durka, position noted, so Penny now fully aware, but he does have another player with him. He's got that Killjoy by his side, so Magnum might post up on this if Durka wants to back out.
That's big, actually. Durka just gave a blatant audio cue there and left Magnum posted. Now, Magnum's position wasn't noted, so if Penny looks to get a little aggressive with the operator here, it could be punished. Again, going to lean away for the time being. Oh, Magnum just jumped.
Was that... Did he do that?
Don't know if that was
I'm worried it's a mouse
not.
wheel jump, or if he's... It's an audio cue nonetheless, so Penny ain't moving too far. They have lost a bit of mid control, so you can see that pressure mounting. Already you've got that jet working through mid. That's going to be Durka. Good pickup from Zelsis, though, to find Boaster. Alleviates a little bit of that pressure, allows Penny to refocus towards the push. And he's gone unchecked, but a characteristic miss. Knives are out. No one's looking his way. You cannot leave that man unchecked. Doma does put him down, but by now, V1 are in the right... What? How has he gone away with it? Durka on the flank. Good shutdown in the end from Vanity. That could have gone so much scarier, but great play from V1. And I don't know how Penny got away with that, even though eventually he got found.
I mean, such a weird early round. It looked as if FNATIC had kind of read that situation perfectly. Durka with the bait of the sound cue dropping back off, and Magnum's position initially completely unnoted. And I'm with you. I'm not sure if that was fully intentional, because everything lined up there. You could see Penny poised to kind of find somebody drifting back out onto B lane. But as soon as he hears that second audio cue, he backs up. He's like, no, guys, I think something's up here. You know, there's an extra body waiting.
Let's go, Penny. Feeling aggressive and quick as lightning. Penny hits and runs. Durka's gone. Another tick in the box for Penny in that matchup against Durka, and now FNATIC can be working with one less, but the res invested. But Penny posted up in a new position. I thought he had that every day, but no. Has to fall away now, find a new spot, but so proactive in these angles.
Yeah, Mystic actually, I guess, got legged there. He's down to 30 HP. We'll get the heal off Doma. We'll be able to reset here. Vanity posted up close. We've got to be careful. Magnum actually going to swing on it. He will find the entry here. I don't know how Vanity didn't catch that cross. Maybe just a little unfortunate with the timing there, but Penny will post up and he's holding this angle now, but a lot of utility block off these sight lines. He gets tagged
Penny
as well.
Has to fall.
Yeah,
that
I mean, Hunter's
such a
Fury
nice
away.
piece.
He has to come away. I don't think he can recontest this.
Well, he has to fall away from at least denying the spike plant, right? He can't really hinder the site, but that
Effie's.
could. Effie's! Huge work from him! Now the Killjoy comes in. Quick work from Doma, though, to shut down Penny, and now you've still got 3 players standing for V1. Boaster desperate for a connection. He can't quite do what he wanted, but Doma's still alive. 30 seconds here. Zelsis reaggressing, though. Doma's denied it, and now it's down to just Jammies! But last time he clutched this out, and he might have to do it again. Durka up against him, spike in hand, 20 seconds now. And Durka's pushing. Jammies feels it. He feels that pressure starting to mount, and Durka just waits. Glimpse now noted, 13 seconds. Pulls him off it, Durka! Kept his cool, but look at this round, Hypoc. Yes, the end was exciting individually, but the amount of utility they poured in just to push Penny off that angle.
I love it. The double smoke onto the side, the slow setup for the rafters, it's just perfect. And Doma's the one to eventually find Penny, but again, that was so back and forth. And actually, even after the initial utility comes, V1, I mean, they stand at the front and fight. Comes down to the 1v1 in the end, but you see it now, the purchase coming back in. Operator once again, and the judge on the side of Vanity. Jammy's only with the sheriff.
Penny. Well, they seem at least cognizant of the fact that someone could have been there. The jump peak definitely going to highlight it, and the utility to allow the cross back through. But they've now noted that the off is still in play for Penny. So good information, fine. But a 3-play stack towards B now.
Also, I'm going to come through, clear some of these close angles for them. Tagged through again, the Viper Wall's crossing. They're actually dropping a really awkward time in there. Boast are going to get punished for that. Durka will trade back onto Zelsis, but not much else he can do about the plant coming through. Jammies will actually throw out the snake bite, but it's a little bit late, so they do actually get the plant off comfortably, and they can reset. You can see already Magnum and Mystic reset towards B lane. Expect Magnum to drift back towards mid, potentially.
I don't know how Durka gets away with that. There was about to be 2 players potentially swinging to yellow. That could have been such a problem, but no. Gets away with his life. Still happy to take the attention on this. And now here comes that Sight Swarm. Keep your eyes on the spike. Durka going to get the first fight on this one. However, there's the utility invested from the Viper, but Bear comes back in on the trade. Doma outdone by Vanity. Leaping across, a Mystic has to play this out so well. Vanity is an animal right now.
Wow.
And Penny shuts down Magnum. Spike should be defused. A little close, but it's fine. But Vanity, what a play.
Yeah, really interesting. I mean, I noticed as soon as they're able to reset, Magnum does actually walk all the way back into mid to come through connector. I'm not sure of his utility situation there, but he only had to buy another second or so with that. And I mean, what can you do about Vanity? Just what can you do about this? When he's just running at you, just jumping with a judge. Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
I mean, those are the sorts of rounds that you just can't expect it, right? It's so unorthodox to have somebody just running at you like that. But again, you know, FNATIC had the opportunity to reset. Magnum, unfortunately, gets shut down that flank, and now we see FNATIC actually back down on a lesser purchase here. Oh, we actually spot the head, but can't find that kill.
Just a little haircut, just a little off the top. Stays alive though, Durka. See if they can allow him to get some success off this. Everyone else looking across it. Yeah, there's some armor investment, but beyond that, it is mostly Sheriffs and Spectre. That's about your lot. So maybe see if they can catch V1 getting over aggressive. No. And actually, wait, Magnum's found room on
what?
Vanity. That's very surprising. He's just crept on site now. Penny's a little baffled. What? Penny? Penny, yes, is in the building, boys and girls. Magnum, though, tries it. Backhanded. And now Boaster in a 1v1 against Penny, who's on fire right now. What does Boaster do? Spikes down in mid.
Look at where
and
Penny's
already
gone.
Penny's on the push. Penny is going to just throw the timing off so much. That's the spike left down, but Penny, this timing, Boaster's surely not going to even think of it. No way in hell did he expect Penny to be that quick on it. But Penny just saved V1 that round.
That is massive from Penny. Like you said, just completely flipped the script on expectations there of how Boaster was going to play that. Again, with Spike down as well, comfortable. That's an all-out confidence play. How? He found 2 with that.
How? Was he already tagged and it hit him in the arm?
What?
Hair? Give me that, like, in slow-mo. Someone screenshot it. Find me a way. Did it hit the arm when the wall was coming up from the Sage? And that was an...
I want answers.
Give me the VOD.
I want answers.
Well, Vanity might have a couple of questions for FNATIC. Not sure about answers for now. He does feel enough pressure to back away from this, though. 5-man play towards A here.
Again, the double slow wants to get onto rafters and backside as well to maybe try and isolate one of these kills. The Alto actually come through. Vanity's position will be spotted. I don't know where it's sent now, just to slow things down. We'll try and tuck himself in, but he's in big trouble there if Durka decides to swing on it. The recon ball actually going to get a big tag there. Penny will follow up on it.
You can't leave him alone for a second, and Vanity's gonna thread the needle. Such perfect timing. Gonna get one, even a second. Vanity finding value everywhere he goes. And Durka and Mystic, they have got the spike at least, and they've got a fair crack of time, but they've lost so much step across this map. It might be time for that quick B hit, and actually it's relatively unguarded.
Yeah, Jammy's actually drifting away as that hit was coming through. So completely wide open here, and I'll be honest, Mystic still with 2 snake bites. It's a 2v3. They can get the plant down. Durka tries to play this a little more aggressively, potentially. This is still doable for FNATIC. Lots of time here, but
that pick.
Yeah, he tried to tap to try and find a peak. You're absolutely right, Lauren. Not going to pay off for him, and now actually we've already closed the distance here. Hunter's Fury going to buy some more time as well. Oh, it's tough, yeah.
Very well done.
Right there. Again, FNATIC just expecting that, I guess V1 didn't read into that A hit as much as they did. Because they were there very, very late, honestly.
I don't really blame Durka for taking his time, maybe expecting someone to be lingering around, trying to pull that player off the site, give them that 2v2, but Vanity's bailout on that second there.
I gotta say it, like, Smoke Criminal is just like the most fitting name for him. How many times have we seen this guy? And actually early on, you know, for FNATIC already showing, like you said, you know, those meticulous clearances and being wary of all these spots, but still he gets away with it. In that round there, I'm not even sure actually if Boaster's Aldro noted him at backside and he just makes the the ballsy play, right? Is to creep forward, throw himself a dark cover down, sit inside it and wait for the hit to come through. Again, at that point, you know, in the positions noted, they think, actually, yeah, we spotted out the one guy we're expecting to rat. Yeah, maybe he will back away now. But no, he's like, yeah, actually, you've seen where I am. I'm going to go even rattier. I'm going to push forward inside my own smoke.
Look, the OG Smoke Criminal, Stewie, just still hitting up NA. Just, it's just in the blood by now. North America just knows how to do it. They get that timing so nice on it as well. So at this point, good timing, I feel, for the tactical timeout to be called for FNATIC. They did that nice run earlier on, but once we've got into the meat of things, the gun rounds, and Penny's got that op out, it has been a pretty clean run from V1.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's impressed me most about V1 is their ability to find this value in the mid-round, right? And in terms of audibles and the calling, and they respond so well to these kind of slow information-gathering plays on the back of mostly Penny and Zelsis, I'll say it. But again, here, it's Jammies also. In terms of the rotation timings, and I guess, yeah, in that previous round, you could say maybe they could play, you know, a 2-1 split and leave Jammies on B side, but actually, I mean, FNATIC kind of reading into it, it plays perfectly for them to just stack up. So, actually, yeah, it's great to see, you know, Vanity do his thing, Penny do his thing, but it's the structure behind this.
I love the switch up off the pause. I always love it. After a timeout, to try and go a little aggressive, throw any plan that FNATIC might have basically in the bin. I think that's quite the nice idea. It has cost Effie's life, though. Somehow Durka's managed to grab that. Vanity down a little lower on HP, but nothing too much to worry about just yet. Trying to find the timing on it. Just looked away. Durka outdoes him, but there's still presence on the site. You can see Penny lingering around. Spike plant will be coming in. I don't think that's going to be able to be stopped at this point. No, it's down.
Reset now. You already see Mystic in position. Doma will find Jammies actually responds onto Doma, though. But again, clock ticking away. Only 2 members left for V1. They've got to break this post-plant setup, and I'm sure if that was Jammies or Mystic, but the initial molly's slightly off there. Penny will check it, but Durka still comes out on top. Jammies the last man standing. We'll try and save this out. You're already Boaster actually coming through mid, potentially to cut him off. So I think he's going to have heard, yeah, he's heard Jammies backing away. They're looking to punish, looking to get this weapon off the table.
Jammies, aka Jame, right now. Just trying to get that rifle through. Gonna actually keep it away from Boaster, at least for now. Finds a little bit of cover. Just doesn't want any of this. Oh no, 4 HP.
4 HP?
Just don't breathe. Don't breathe. You're fine. I don't know if he lived. I don't know if he lived. We'll find out. Magic surprise coming in. Yeah, Durka though, finding the timing on Vanity there. It was a second difference, man. Like, it's just how the game goes.
The other thing as well, Vanity just slips off that edge there, so I guess he can't fully get a grip on that recoil either. I mean, it looked ready for it. I mean, the initial peak, like you said, yes, I love the pace change, but as soon as V1 show a little bit of aggression, Durka still hops up on pipes. Like, even when they get the double peak at the start, he's still just like, yeah, I'm still going to peek this.
This is interesting. You got a 3-play stack on B long, ult invested towards A, and this wasn't a default coming out from FNATIC, so they don't have that much information, but a good counter from the Killjoy.
Yeah. Again, seeing this more often now. As soon as you know that the ultimate comes up, the Viper's rotated to a different site altogether, and you know that the lean's potentially going to be elsewhere. So great read from FNATIC. Yeah, Hunter's Fury comes out. Actually, no initial damage done yet, but zones off a couple of angles here, and look at that. Durka goes up top there with the Blade Storm, but the spike actually, it denied the plant.
Yeah, it did. And that's massive work. A little bit of time garnered here. Now Durka's going to be under pressure, and he knows it. He's got so many players around him. He's trying to dip out of there, try and get to a little bit of safety. Jammy's big pressure.
No,
not to a pistol. Jammy's finds him with one. And the UI feeling about as rough as EU did after the first couple of games, but Jammy's going to continue this one forward. We still have the positioning coming out, though, from Mystic on the back lines. Keep your eyes on that defuse. He has to play this to the seconds of perfection. Boaster on the big boy flank, though. Has he made noise, though? I feel as though he's been heard. He's been noted. He's still going to find Zelsys, but time. They should have enough of this.
Yeah, definitely going to be able to get it there. I love the play with Vanity, just the TP all the way back. Try and contest Mystic there. Apologies for the UI, but we'll get that fixed hopefully before the next round starts. A little bit chaotic throughout that. I was taking a look to see what utility they had left. And the first awkward 1v1 we'll see with Jammy's actually completely removing Magnum there. I gotta say, I'm not sure whether or not this is just a slight adjustment from FNATIC, but Magnum playing a little more aggro than I'm expecting in these post plants. Maybe just to try and, I guess, read into the way that V1 are going to try and contest the utility lineups, but a little bit strange to see. Again, he's usually doing what we've seen Boaster do on Icebox at least, which is these very, very late lurks through mid, on both sides, actually, A and B. We really see him do it on B. He's kind of been first point of contact in terms of the post-plant hold.
It does seem as though we have a little bit of a tech pause here. But we can kind of talk through what we've seen so far. And I mean, there's been plenty under their belt and they ran with it and they looked pretty solid. Crossing the T's, dotting the I's. Under their belt and they ran with it and they looked pretty solid. Came in perfectly. And again, in these posts now, the answer back on the rifles, though, came in perfectly. And again, in these post plants, I do want to highlight, Jammies to me has been so good at digging out Mystic from these positions, constantly pressuring those post plants. And if you've known these two teams coming into this, let's say you watch both regions, you enjoy the meta that's currently in, you know that they're going to be so hyper aware of how to pressure it, how to make that other player uncomfortable, to play the opposing number, right? Your other Viper, they've got to know what's up. Oh no, I don't like a chair. I don't like a chair lean. I don't like it.
Don't like it when they go horizontal. It's not good.
No, we don't like a tilt. But what stood out to you the most in this so far, in this matchup at least?
I think, like I said, just that slight adjustment where even in the post plant, seeing FNATIC play things a little, again, you could say expectations wise, Durka's fine doing what he does, and usually it's Doma not too far away. He's usually kind of the second point of contact, but I guess with Durka getting dealt with quite a few times, it's looked a little rough for FNATIC. It doesn't look as if they've really been able to comfortably lean on all that utility, which would have been the expectation, right? And actually, conversely, I mean, if you're going to see them kind of adjust and anticipate that switch up from V1 to really challenge that post-plant hold, I want to see kind of FNATIC double down. I don't want to see Durka be kind of solo on the front line there. Boaster giving us the eyes. But it's interesting. It's interesting to note as well. Like I said, just a few change-ups here with Magnum tending to stay on site, especially when they hit A, and Boaster being in that lurk role. Whether or not, relying on Sova also in the post plant, having a lineup from somewhere for those shock darts, because they're finding entries so early on. Like I said, that the big condition of this meta and this composition is running the clock down, coming in, finding a clean plant, but also in the rounds where FNATIC are finding a first blood, or Durka's finding an entry onto a site, V1 are still able to kind of dictate the pace in the retake, which is just odd.
Yeah, and there was a actual tactical timeout from FNATIC prior to this. a couple of rounds ago, so maybe they were trying to address that, and we'll have to wait and see how it looks going forward. But overall performance so far, I think a lot of the win conditions for V1 have come online early. I mean, Penny is having a series as soon as he gets that up.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
Whew, the impact he can have. Like, the one thing I think all of us can agree, even, you know, prior to Masters, was that North America, they've got some incredible operator players out there. You know, be it your, like, you know, your Wardell, whoever it may be, right? You can go through most of the teams almost and pick out like a standout, right? There's so many of them. But it's great to see Penny finding that form here at LAN as well.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's no real shocker to say that Penny for me is been the most exciting player to watch on version 1. And again, I think that comes down to they made this comparison on the desk in terms of, you know, what FNATIC do and kind of the structure and the support system around Durka. It's all well and good, but the amount of times we've seen Penny just all out solo come up huge in a situation on Jet with an operator, with a rifle, whatever it is, positionally. I think actually Potter made a really good kind of analogy about risk assessment, right? Positionally, that's where Penny excels as a Jet.
Yeah, 100%. Now, 6-6. Close game. I think we were all kind of getting what we want out of this. If anything, this is just proving that these two are very well matched. Durka going to get the first bit of contact really through this. Going to spam away through the wall, but no connection from it. And Penny on the other side doing the same.
Jammy's, meanwhile, though, has walked all the way up. Magnum might just catch him creeping. He does indeed, and actually still nearly caught him off guard, but Magnum comes out on top. Now, information given across to FNATIC. Again, contact shown on both sides, but no follow-up on Jammies. It's only going to be Magnum and Mystic now with Boaster drifting back onto Boiler. Durka's position noted. No follow-up on the drone here, and actually going to see Effie's remain here on A to try and sell this fake, but as I say that, two members of V1 actually onto yellow now. This could have FNATIC.
Look at that spike.
Yeah, running all the way around the map here. It's going to be... Look at this. It's drawn them way off A site already. It's only Doma.
It is the infamous double pump.
We'll have a
go
pump.
back towards A. It's got to be the double. Doma, though, the timing's got him. Vanity just cresting that corner at the perfect time. Brilliantly done. Well felt out. You do have that mid flank coming out from Boaster. Durka, the timing again. Magnum, though. Nice spacing on that to make sure Vanity couldn't punish Durka there. Nice work off the back, but leaves it open to Penny, just seemingly almost predicting it. Magnum unable to remove much pressure from the side itself and still doing work, but it is down to Boaster here. A 1v2 presented, and you've got Zellsis and Penny in good positioning. Just having to make the time sit on their side, and they do just that. V1 off to a good start in the second half.
I like it again. It's just coming through, selling that fake on B. As soon as the rotation comes off, they're in a great position to capitalize on it. And even just a slight adjustment there, planting in a weird spot. So potentially, actually, you know, if all goes wrong, they've got two players on B. The plant is for screens, right? It's for mid, potentially, to kind of run down the time that it takes to rotate. Really, really nice round from V1. And again, actually, I was after Jammy's walking all the way through, and I initially said no follow-up, but, you know, 15, 20 seconds later, there's a second lurk coming through from two players, Penny and Zellsis.
Nice start for Vanity. Let's see if they can do the same as FNATIC did, keeping these first couple of rounds nice and clean. And it looks like that's the case so far. Jammies. Just want to get caught out by that Killjoy on the other side. Magnum would love a bit of timing on this, but I doubt Jammies is going to give it to him. And yeah, leaning right towards A, where it will be Boaster waiting to see if he can maybe do some damage, but V1 look pretty well prepared for this.
Yeah, Magnum actually going to be trailing. Oh, Boaster swings out, finds a headshot, but no kill there. 20 HP on Vanity. Magnum finally catches up to Jammies. We'll find this kill, but position noted. Difficult here. Look for him to try and do a little more damage here, but Penny already wise to it. We'll find the headshot there. V1 close out the second. Go up 8-6 here now. Important thing, and I mentioned this the first time we saw V1 play at Masters, and look towards Jammies to be just that hard lurker here, especially playing the Viper role. And just look for him to just show a little bit of presence early round, every single time. Now, if FNATIC can kind of read into that, potentially isolate that one kill, it removes a large kind of you know, factor for the post-plant hold, right? We keep talking about this utility. What I don't want to see is Magnum hunting solo. One of the biggest things that I always talk about with FNATIC is being proactive and being able to isolate players in these kind of defensive executes. That's what I'm looking for here on Jammies.
Now, it is the bonus round for V1, but it does pack a punch in the form of Penny with that rifle. A couple of Bulldogs out as well, and Effie's still with that Spectre. Just Jammies down on the Sheriff, but everything they need around it. And on the other side, the rifle buy-up comes out. V1 testing a little towards middle, walking 2, but not really committing off the back of it just yet.
And finally, Jammy shows his face on the B lane here. Oh, actually, that's unfortunate. Their Vanity actually gets tagged, so FNATIC's still aware that they're trying to pull contact on both extremities here, try and force that rotation out. Look at this now, Durka and Dome are actually clearing all the way through B lane, so this is very early information, way before the spike's going to be planted on A, Lauren.
Keep your eye on Zelsis in middle as well by the time this flank comes in too, but that's for maybe a second after the site hit comes out. Mystic does catch off Penny, no trade going to come from that. Vanity needs to back for a second, and here comes that mid lurk. Zelsis very prepared for it, finds Durka. Does he expect Doma? They are normally the duo, but Zelsis just needs to live. That makes Doma feel, you know, as said, chocolate teapot style, not so useful. And yeah, good work from Vanity on the way back in. 12 seconds though, I don't know if it's enough time. Zelsis just trying to live here, surrounded. Magnum's down, Boaster tries to hit that flank! And just like a knife in the back, he finds Effies and Jammies. Vanity catches him though, and now Mystic just has to live. No one catching him before the time runs out.
They're really, really good. Well handled by FNATIC there. Again, expect as soon as Durka and Doma find all that space on B and start creeping towards mid, expect them to actually lean away from A a little bit, at least try and not hold on site itself. This is just too risky, right? I mean, at that point, you just want to keep the numbers advantage. You want to at least keep it to a 5v5 in the retake, especially when you have this much pressure towards the back lines and Jammies playing over towards Belt on A. It's a really, really well considered hold there from FNATIC across the entire map.
Know this by now. Durka will play this spot, and he plays it pretty well. Can often get 2 kills from this quite comfortably, but for now we see that lean towards A coming out from V1. Penny gonna lead the charge here. Utility gonna at least clear some of these corners on the way in. Vanity by his side and Mystic on the other. Wants to try and deny the spike plant, but he's actually completely unscathed. Vanity's just fine. Tries to dip away. Magnum gets one. Mystic catches Vanity on the back pedal, but it's still Zelsis standing tall. Quick little bit of util on the side, but Mystic! So much work, but now we get into the post-plant realms. We know it. Jammies is here. Effie's by his side. These two are so well prepared for this. Unless there is something mad coming out, how are you going to get on that spike?
Yeah, Effie's also has the shock dust as well. Now we know how bad this can be, but Utility invested pretty early here with Mystic finding these kills. That's everything gone, I'm pretty sure. So Mystic can just stick this.
They got the timing just right. I don't think he can stop the defuse. No, he can't. He can get maybe the kill afterwards. It doesn't matter. The timing a little early maybe on that one.
Yeah, this is really interesting as well, because actually FNATIC don't go and challenge the backlines, right?
No.
Mystic finding those kills. Yeah, Mystic finding those kills when he did on site, and actually Zelsis being the important one, he's going to be the first point of contact, right? He falls back, he finds these 2 kills, which is huge, right? All he needs to do is get back under Nest. That's all he needs to do, because he then is the person that defends the push from FNATIC. All FNATIC do is they say, right, wait this out, guys. They're going to have to burn it early. If neither of them are going to peek the defuse, they're going to have to use that utility early.
Get out of my way.
Okay, Penny, I'm pretty sure on the ult here. You can see the rest did manage to get rifles up. Just 1 Bulldog for Effies, but he does have his ult as well. Plenty of ults coming online here for V1. All excluding Jammies, but the amount of room Durka's garnering them here, if they can punish that later, that could be interesting. But for now, he's holding half of this map.
I think now we see the readjustment from Jammies. It's like, yeah, okay, we need to address the mid-round kind of backline control. I'm not going to show on B. I'm going to sit at the top of spawn ramp, and we're just going to wait. We're going to play this out slow here, because I think the plan here is to find entry with Penny, at least with the Blade Storm. And Jammies to be able to punish this flank now. Zelsis is well set up with the turret.
Oh no. If FNATIC aren't patient, they're going to walk right into the Zelsis. No way, that timing. No way. If they were about to push through middle, just missing each other by split seconds. FNATIC going to fall away from this. They feel as though they've checked on mid. Nothing's towards B. They actually left a little bit of a rotation of Magnum over there, but they can kind of fall back towards A. Super late site hit coming down now, so Vanity aggressing towards the site. Mystic, Doma, both towards short. FNATIC left the site here, maybe reading a little bit into this pace change and unaware of how to handle it, but Penny can't handle the knives now. Doma outdoes him, a rarity. Penny's been on point, but now Vanity playing that smoke, the criminal himself. Can he get away with it? But now he's going to at least draw the fire. Fred falls away. Postplan comes in. Killjoy out, invested.
And everything. Actually, the TP from Vanity, I love this as well. The Hunter's Fury goes down. Actually just creating a little bit of paranoia in the backlines. But the defuse coming through. It's already halfway. Finally dealt with here. Magnum invests the lockdown as well to try and clear some of this close space, and he's going to go hunting.
I see a wall on this too. I don't know if that post plan's going to work out well. No, it doesn't. Another defuse going to come through. FNATIC somehow playing this style against them. And look, we said it. If anyone knows how to do this, it's going to be FNATIC.
Yep.
That's twice now they've succeeded in post plants, which is pretty rare, to be fair. That took a lot. Now we know the wall's going to come in, but there's the first attempt on it. Great work from Effie's to pull Doma away. But still, at this point, they are trying everything they can.
And again, it's the utility management, right? It's holding on to key pieces of util, like the wall. So these things like walking mid, right? Sending Boaster and Doma to walk mid in the mid round. It's things like that that means the Doma doesn't have to invest, his wall on tube. Just simple little adjustments like that and playing a little differently. I mean, V1 actually, I gotta say, at least in the early round, playing a little slower than what we've seen so far at Reykjavik. I mean, Penny, yes, he's having a very good game, but it's not as aggressive as we've seen. At least they're not fighting for this early round control, and not really hunting out that entry, Lauren, right? We haven't seen him really playing very aggro on the operator. Even on the Bladestorm round previously there, he's just kind of hovering back and forth on belt. This is actually the perfect response from FNATIC in terms of just positioning and these small kind of fact finders in the early round.
But we've also said this about Durka. He does play a hybrid when it comes to this map specifically as a jet operator, I guess, but he does lean more towards the rifle than most. He doesn't often post up for those early fights. We saw this when we were, I think it was like us looking at him against like CNED or someone just someone who's more traditionally a heavier operator player.
Yeah.
He doesn't necessarily take those forward fights. He's not going to allow Penny to have as many of those instant opportunities. It was something that definitely cost him a fair amount against Shazam. So maybe an adjustment, keeping that mentality calm, could work for Durka here.
I mean, the other thing as well to consider, obviously, was Elsa's making the switch back to Killjoy. I think the first time we saw them play Phoenix was actually in the Challengers 2 finals when they brought it out against Sentinels. But again, they have run that versus Crazy Raccoons. So maybe that's why we're seeing a little bit of an adjustment here in terms of the tempo from version 1.
Yeah, the bank's far from established for either side as well. It's both... It's been kept humble on either side. Penny going to try and get that quick start, though. Magnum's the one going to be drawn to attention. That's going to be the turret very quickly removed.
You see them now trying to set up a turret inside kitchen here to give them a forward push, and exactly the thing I was talking about, right? Doma not using the wall on tube. We're going to see V1 now try and walk up. Vanity going to find Mystic elsewhere. She's going to come through and double down on that, but this is all presence elsewhere. Yeah, all presence elsewhere. Vanity still now just going to create problems whilst V1 lean towards B site.
What a switch up. They took mid control. This is punishing every rotation, so everyone's on an island. If you're at A or if you're at B, you can't really leave it because you've lost all that control. Zelsis is just the bouncer, right? Like, you can't get past this guy. Now, Durka could do something dirty on his own, but that's all it's going to be, is Durka doing something individual here. He's got no support on the way. It's a long way off. Magnum's done well in middle, but even now, it's still tough. They don't know what's clear. They don't know what's safe. The spike plant's gone down, and it's a post-plant 4v3, and they still cannot clear this player out in middle.
Jammies 2 snake bites, 1 shock dart on F. He's noting that now. V1 need to hold deep. Actually, Zelsis gets spots out there, but still comes out on top of the first. Doma going to get Magnum back on his feet, so it comes to a 3v3, and HP advantage in favor of FNATIC. Durka now trying to pressure this backline. Trying to get this entry, but Penny comes out on top.
Yeah, this is still going to be tough. The HP may be low, but the time's dwindled. I think they know it as well. Time to back away here. Really good switch up from V1 after that timeout. That was perfectly done. I'm so happy we saw that coming out of that tactical timeout. And you highlighted it earlier. I think that's the perfect example, right? Is that we noted the wall hadn't been committed towards Tube. Clearly, the coach for V1 noted that too, and it was a pressure point. They found it, they already capitalize on it, they push up someone like Zelsis to be a nuisance in middle, make those rotations impossible, and while this happens even better, Vanity finding a pick towards the site is just, it's everything they could hope for.
It is indeed. I mean, I do love just those micro adjustments there, and actually, at the same time, it's...
Duck is going in middle here. Celsius, the one on the other side. Does anything give this away? There's the owl drone going through. Effie's the one to show it, but there is still another player here. There's two players waiting in middle. There's the counter to it. Durkin out. He swings and he still gets Celsius. How does he get that?
Coming through, gets away completely scot-free as well. Vanity once again will come through and find an entry onto A site. He's got Penny here to back him up this time around, but Durka and Mystic already can try and to contest this. Effie's going to find Mystic as well now. Durka unable to make a move with Vanity holding on to the other side of this smoke. Little tap comes through from the spike now. Durka will find one, but Vanity still positioned well to trade that out, and it just comes down to Boaster.
30 seconds
It's
left.
going to be V1 pulling 10-9 ahead.
Oh, this is great work from V1. That pause has just given them that refresher coming back into this. They really have a good read now. And for FNATIC, they need to think quick on their feet. They really need to find a solution and fast, because as it stands, V1 really have the reins now. For the last couple of rounds, they found the perfect answer to this. They punished the mid plate. They've been catching players. Boaster trying to get a little bit of work done here. Gonna find Vanity, but the last two, how would you pull them out of position? Penny and Effie's. Yeah, no, not gonna happen. Has to back away here. Rifle trying to keep that one in hand. Falls away, and it will be double digits hit for V1 in map 1 now.
Again, I gotta say, on the back of Vanity. Again, fight. Nearly got it at the end there, but yeah, like I was saying, on the back of Vanity, just kind of, again, just coming in, being way ahead of the curve, way ahead of the, you know, the beat in terms of what FNATIC are expecting.
Enemy remaining.
Again, I mean, Durka unable, yeah, Durka really unable to do anything there to kind of help Mystic, with Vanity just posted on the outside of his smoke. I guess the complete opposite to what you would expect, right? He usually would be inside it.
Quick TP as well. No info directly there, but a good little information that, well, yellow looks safe, so hit that cross, and it's quite pacey from V1. There's the ult as a reply, though, from Mystic. You can see the purchase is iffy for FNATIC. Bits and pieces dragged together, the leftover from Boaster in that final round. This take is good. Just how do they get past that ultimate? Mystic can be playing this for his life. Vanity again, the space this guy is taking for them. Constantly just trying to take room away from FNATIC. It's so well done. Keeping them back towards middle. No freebies being found here for FNATIC, as the spike now should be able to get planted. It is. And Vanity going to pop himself up on top, have a little look over the wall. He's going to spot out not just one, but two, three. He sees them all. Line them up, maybe knock them down. Wait, Boaster, what? Wait. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. Boaster, probably a little bit baffled too, but we move on from it. A 2v3 and Dirk is on 1 HP. Still does damage. He's going to have to fall away from that. We still see that post plant. Look at it. If Jammies and Eppies are alive, man, there's so little you can do with this.
Jammies actually posted up. Going to get tagged up here, but again, got to close the distance. Got to find both of them. Durka will find one more, but 20 HP. Clock ticking away. Effie's and Jammies already done the hard work. No possibility. Comes through and V1 continue to push forward. 11-9, the scoreline. And I gotta say it now, with all that hard work Vanity's done in a couple of rounds leading up to this, you know, that conditioning factor now becomes apparent, right? The wall blocks off the information. Vanity shows a little bit of presence. The FNATIC are left wondering, is he faking again? Is he just kind of trying to draw out this rotation? Like, what is happening? And that paranoia builds here, and it's so much pressure, especially with a round deficit, to try and keep your finger on the beat in terms of, you know, where the hit's coming through. Vanity is doing so much work right now for V1.
Oh, he has been the difference maker in my mind in the last 3 rounds. After that tactical timeout, his value has increased exponentially. He has become the difference maker. Now, we saw Penny being that a little bit in the first half. It was, you know, really creating some good room. Jammy's having a good couple of rounds. You know, Zelsis feeling, you know, kind of, I guess, filling the gap a little bit as well. Like, everyone was having a good enough performance. It was fine. But Vanity has been hitting different in this half. The last couple of rounds have been perfect. Now, we do have a bit of a shaky purchase. I want to see what Boaster goes for, but we do have the op coming out for Durka, so we haven't seen much of that yet.
No, and that actually makes me think they're going to continue. It's like I was saying, and again, Icebox is a weird one in terms of FNATIC, but they don't tend to have too many of these more kind of, you know, choreographed defensive executes, right? These kind of set plays for taking early round control with utility. But actually, he must have already have full armor. Actually, still got decent utility. So actually got the full armor and the Vandal purchase here. But it's a good point you make to see the operator come out here. It makes me think that actually FNATIC want to sit back even further now. Because like I said in the early round, Vanity is just creating chaos. Right, and it's the two players once again. Like I said, yes. Vanity showing presence, and then Jammy's the one that actually towards the start of this half was the lurking factor. Right, so the guessing game right now, the mind games, the psychological warfare version 1, is literally got FNATIC running around in circles.
Yes, it does. Keep your eyes on Vanity. Doma on the switch up this time. That's a little bit of a different look here. Durka's actually got himself over towards A. Not your traditional look for Durka. Doesn't normally post up this aggressively, but maybe the impact that Vanity's had has to have an answer. They're going to put Durka towards it as mid gets tested a touch as well, but he's a little worried that someone might have slipped the net, but no. Vanity seems so aware of this. If he gets down Durka here, he's going to slowly lean forward.
Perfectly placed smoke, man. It's just like, oh, something's weird here.
Yeah, something seems odd. They've heard the steps. Vanity knows something's up here. Smoke down towards middle. Durka holding a little bit more of a passive line.
This is the other aspect, right? Again, you play a couple of fast hits in terms of what Vanity and Penny have been doing in the early round, and now when they sit like this, you gotta rely on FNATIC remaining disciplined.
Oh,
Vanity crouching almost as if he knows what's on the other side of that wall.
This is going to be all about the timing on it. You're going to see it come out right about now. Durka is in under so much scrutiny. Util comes out, everything being poured in towards him. He gets away from it for now. The ult does come in, but Vanity works forward. Durka finds him. First time they found the answer to this. 10 seconds on the board. 10 seconds. They have to, and the spike's in middle right now. They're going for a quick B piece. I don't think they can get there in this time. Yeah, Zelsis could maybe be a nuisance. Eyes on the spike. They don't have enough time on it. There is no way they have enough time on this. FNATIC, let them run down the clock. They will not bite into it. And that one pick on Vanity, that one bit of work was everything they needed.
That was such a strange round. Again, actually kind of, like I said, trying to embrace all that paranoia they've built with all of this early round pressure. And it just comes on the back of, like I said, this one kill, but also the lockdown, right? As soon as they see the lockdown, it's like, oh, crap, guys, we got 20 seconds left in the round. The lockdown's still burning for 8 seconds. That takes us to 12 seconds. The math doesn't work out. They try and hit the rotate to B, and again, got to credit FNATIC. With them playing with that operator so deep on belt, then backing up to site, they have enough control to just sit in that 2-1-2.
But the fast mid, they've gone for a fast mid lean. Look towards where Penny is. Look at their positioning. Effys has already found Doma. They're about to be wrapped towards B. It's going to be Boaster on an island here. Magnum can try and help, but it's not going to be pretty. Boaster's found Jammies, but a quick trade out for Effys. And now the 4v3 ensues, and Mystic, Durka, and Magnum, I don't know where they're going to find these from, but Magnum trying to creep up towards Tube. He's going to get the swing on it. No,
that's a big win.
Huge pick. for Zelsis. Spike now down, and FNATIC in trouble. A huge pace change there. That mid play was perfect. Penny finding Mystic now. Durka, you gotta back away, and he can't. Great work from V1.
That was beautiful. Again, to just go from one end of the extreme to the other. I mean, big discussion coming into this, right? Depth. They have such a good hold on the game right now in terms of the pace, in terms of the tempo of these rounds. And like I said, all of these things, they add up now over 3, 4, 5 rounds, and they can just run rings around FNATIC. They can switch up, hit mid like this, and FNATIC just aren't prepared for it. They aren't.
It does feel as though V1 are determining the pace. They're kind of leading this kind of mental game the entire way through. Durka does have his ult available. Vanity's on the op here. And a mid piece right back at them. They're walking mid. There's two of them, Doma and Durka, are walking mid on this piece. Now, they've gone quite quickly towards this. Now, they've noted enough that it makes them feel they can fall away from this now. Presence made towards middle.
You should run.
You're gonna have the commitment of the ultimate from Zelsis. Vanity still watching for this one. Magnum's got to be careful now. He knows there's presence coming his way. A spam? Sure, but he's got to back out from this now. There's the ult as well coming out from the Viper on the site. This should be a plant, but they haven't done it just yet. Still a minute on the board, and they've just taken towards the site. You're going to have the ultimate popped on the other side of things. Magnum and Durka in combination, though, find quick picks. Penny and Zelsis go down. Jammy's trying to get that spike back to hand, but this player's on the site with him. He is not safe here at all.
He's not. Actually, Magnum just going to charge on through and he'll find the kill. It's Jammies as well. Both
No, not again,
They're going to
Boaster.
flush him out with the shock dart, but FNATIC now in a 4v2. Effie's the only man left, and shock darts, yes,
Vanity's
but not
alive,
in a decent
Hypo.
position here.
Vanity is still alive, and I will not doubt this man. The diffuser's coming in right now. It's over halfway. They are sitting this one as
The
best
wall
they can.
again.
They have taken it to 11. The wall succeeds, and V1 now have the challenge in front of them. It's OT or it's GG in map 1. What do they do with this? FNATIC turn it around in the final moments. We're at 11 to 12. This could not be a better game between these two.
And again, it's a similar situation to what we've seen with V1 before, right? It gets to kind of this momentum round, right? When everything comes online, they have the Viper's Pit, the lockdown, they have all this utility to invest on this set piece here. Unfortunately, okay, I'm sorry. Again, though, it's Magnum. It's the second time, but it's because Magnum goes hunting inside the Viper's Pit, right? The decay, he's low HP.
Durka, hold on. He's gonna have one. He's got two! It could not happen! Boom for Durka! But FNATIC needs him. He comes online. That's 3 huge kills, and now Effie's is just stunned. His team just got shredded on the way in.
It's insane. Again, V1 just tried to take the fight hyper aggro in the early round here, and Durka comes up huge for FNATIC. A minute left on the clock. Effie's last man standing. Gonna have his recon bolt back off cooldown now, but it's gonna take a miracle. We've seen Effie's clutch out a few rounds, but this is a tall order for him.
Let's see what you got, Effie's. It's not over. It'd be OT. But he's gonna fight with everything he's got for it. Spike in hand, 48 seconds. 4 players in front of him. It starts with 1, but the trade comes out. But that round was Durka sitting in what's normally, I'd say, a 1 and done, but somehow he gets away with 3.
Yeah, just absolutely. I mean, the guy's 31 and 17 right now. He's having an absolutely insane performance.
Zelsis was facing it too.
Zelsis was facing it. Vanity, I guess, was still placing a smoker. They just wanted to execute really quickly here. But you're absolutely right. The fact that he gets out after finding 2 and then finds a 3rd is absolute insanity.
But look, V1 have been setting the tone until now. That's been the first couple of
enough.
rounds where I feel it's back and forth between these two.
Yeah, I can't believe we're V1 and overtime again. This is when things got really dicey. Yes, we can credit the in-game
Hold on,
leadership.
fast play.
Durka? Whoa.
That was a tag on Penny. Penny's 60 HP.
I don't know how, but
I check him, PC man. But for now, that was contact towards B, but it is still a piece towards A. You have a bit of a split here. 3-2, spike towards spawn. They're not really overly committing anywhere. I say that, and they're making fair progress. They're pulling utility away, but I feel like FNATIC are going to fall off this. This is a fake piece.
yeah, and Penny's already come drifting over. See now, only going to be one player, and that's Zelsis on B site for the time being. FNATIC holds strong. Haven't committed either side just yet.
Well, I like this from Effie's. Fact finding in middle could be big, but just holding space for now. That could have been good timing for him. Still hearing steps towards A and utility being shown, but FNATIC down to 36 seconds now. We know they can play slow, but hey, V1 have shown they can try it too.
The Boaster's in here trying to sell a fake, but Penny already posted up, going to find the right information. FNATIC, they got to go now. 20 seconds, they're committed. They have to hit B site.
If there's any utility in the way, there's going to be a problem, but Boaster and Durka in quick combination do find two. Jammies and Penny are down. It's on Vanity to try and dissuade this. Denial on the defuse, on the spike plant even, excuse me. Zelsis finds Mystic. That's massive work. And now FNATIC clutching at straws. They look rabid in this. They deny another peek. But Effie's, can he do anything? He's bringing it to the absolute finest of margins, but Boaster has missed him. There is a world in which he can still find this 1v1. Boaster's timing is everything. Does he spot him? Not yet. Effie slips the...
Oh no, Effie!
Slips the net. It's a fumble from Effie's. He has to push Doma out of position. He's found the fight, but Doma just slips away. He fades away, makes it harder. No one is giving Effie's the fight here. He's going to have to drag them out of these positions, or somehow FNATIC have pulled off the first. Good shot from Effie's, but he has no idea where Boaster is. Boaster, great work in the end. Brilliant flank after the absolute madness that went down on that site.
20 seconds left. I'm pretty sure it goes back and forth for 3 or 4 trades on site. Durka again. 2 massive kills to at least get some control. But then Effie's, I don't know how, but he still gets that transfer. It still looks possible for V1 to close this round out. This second one here, massive to dig Vanity out for behind the double box.
That was all V1s until Durka came up.
Yes,
like that was theirs.
It was literally, yeah.
13-12, FNATIC with the upper hand here, but we look back towards what V1 can do. It's been Vanity being nuts on this side. Penny has had some brilliant moments, but we need it all to combine here to see V1 take this again into another OT, or it's map 1 into FNATIC's hands. First time FNATIC have had the lead in a hot minute, really. As already this mid-presence is being noted. Zelsis working up with that Owl drone. Doma on the other side, but timing's going to be key here. Who shows first? It's a swing from Doma, and it ain't a miss. Wall goes up, that's mid-control, but it's not where the hit's coming to. It's still this lean towards that A side. Durka sees it, but loses his life for it. Vanity succeeds, but Magnum is waiting patiently. Do they check on this player? Vanity's going to head on through, does not note it just yet. There is still presence here, and it's Magnum from up on top. Finds Vanity. Spike yet to go down. Magnum again! Jammies and Effies with it all to do in a 2v4 to save V1, to pull them into another OT. But Jammies gets called off by Mystic, and now Effie's again presented with what feels like the impossible task.
Lambot spots him out now in a position where he has to swing. He's going to spot a barrel hit. Try and dig one out with the shock dart. Doma, I guess, thinks he's unseen there, but comes through. We'll find the first. Doma falls.
HP. If it was cleaner, I could maybe see something. 20 more seconds. Magnum tries to thread it. Effie's grabs him down, and now the 1v2. Can he? Surely Boaster just plays this chill. He's got to be calm. You can see the pressure, the nerves mounting, but the denial from Mystic and FNATIC turn it after V1 led that game for some time.
That was insane. That was such a crazy map 1 to start this series off, but Durka going absolutely massive on Icebox for FNATIC. You got to credit a lot of those rounds just on the back of him stringing together kills left, right, and center. But also the other things we look towards, right? Boaster and Magnum in those roles, those information gatherers, those lurks, time and time again finding value. I mean, you know what? Before I came into this, I was saying FNATIC, if they can find value being proactive in the early round, I give it to them. You know, 6 days out of 7, right? Actually, where I give the favor to V1 is in the mid round, in the late round. Actually, when the pressure comes on towards the late game, I give it towards V1, just with what they've shown us so far at Reykjavik. But right here, I gotta say it, the war of attrition. FNATIC come out on top. They stay composed under pressure, and just an insane performance overall from them.
What a map 1 we just got to see. OT already, and that could have gone to a second OT for sure. I am I'm loving it. If this keeps up to this caliber, I'm super happy. And you got to say it. Roll your mind back to those tactical timeouts. V1 had answers. They had answers to that, but then Durka somehow elevated beyond that. I'm blown away by both of these teams. And we said at the very start of this will be a test of the look of, I guess, V1's depth, and they've got it there, but they also then have to deal with Durka having a pop-off game. I mean, what a great map one, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ascent is up next as well, so I'm so happy to be seeing this IPOC.
Yeah, I can't wait. Like I said, actually, map veto-wise, if it does go the distance, which, I mean, with map one going to overtime and it being that close and so back and forth throughout, I felt like, as soon as FNATIC actually finally got ahead, they were able to close out. But for the majority of that, they were playing from behind. So to play like that under pressure, insane to see. But yeah, if the stars align, man, I want to see Haven. I really want to see Haven.
Take us to map 3. Honestly, look, yeah, we know we're EU, but I want to see a map 3 if it's going to keep being this close. But to get there, we had to have to get to a break first and then the analyst desk. So let's get towards that, and we'll see you after the break.
I think the opportunity to represent North America as the first international competitors is something that I'll probably remember for the rest of my life, because it is going to be something that goes down in Valorant's history. Just getting here is success in itself, right? Obviously, now that we're here, I would like to do well, but as long as we give our all, that's really all I can ask for here.
We're here because we deserve to be here, and we are shown that we can play against anyone in the world.
I think we have 5 people that get along relatively well, and I think it propels us forward.
NET is definitely the leader.
I like change, I like innovating, I like just having to continuously do something and get better at it.
Having someone like this on your team that has no doubt in himself, no doubt in the team, is actually really, really helpful. I've never played with someone so confident, so that's really helped me actually, and that's really helping the team. For me to represent North America here actually means a lot, because I've had a long road to come here. I know I'm good, I know I'm really good, but playing against these teams we've never played against before, and just showing up and showing we can actually hang in there and beat these guys was actually really cool.
I do think that a lot of the teams that come into this event are going to have drastically different playstyles than they had in their Challenger finals where they qualified. I think you can do the best to pick up on little cues, aggressive players, passive players, what they like to do. But
we just going on the fly and just using our teamwork on the spot, being able to adapt and outplay people on the spot in intense moment is one of the main characteristics, and also showing up when it matters, I think, is one of the reasons why we're here.
Welcome back, everyone, and let's recap Map 1 of FNATIC versus Version 1 with our Prime Gaming highlights. You heard from Version 1 there, Veli. This team, they got a lot of skill, a lot of talent, but fortunately for them, they came up short against FNATIC.
A lot of skill, a lot of talent, but unfortunately, they face a lot of Durka. It was all about Durka. 34-19, he took advantage of every situation they threw at him. I mean, let's be honest. You take a look at the first 4 rounds, what happened? Basically, FNATIC, they said their B strat is whack. They consistently pressured it to where they were able to take out Jammies and Zelsis like it was nothing in order to get those wins. That alone right there put Version 1 back so far. Penny finally woke up, but it just wasn't enough. I really like the fact that Version 1, they were able to adapt and come back, because this game was like a seesaw battle back and forth, but ultimately going into overtime, FNATIC showed they are just better. And it's not just because of Boaster's big brain. You saw the flank under tunnel. You saw what Boaster was doing in the mix. He is phenomenal. Him and Vanity, I'm really glad that we spoke about them pre-show, right? Because they're not just IGLs. You know, they're playmakers. They're in the front lines getting those kills and clutches. So, hey, FNATIC are looking good. Still a close game. We don't know who's going to run with it, but going to map 2 on the Synth, though, it's going to be a whole different story.
I hope so. I hope it will be a different story. Oh, sorry.
They're excited.
Go ahead,
one at a time.
we're super excited. I just very quickly, yes, Neutron was able to beat them V1 yesterday as well, but I think we saw something out of FNATIC that we mentioned at the top of the show. If there's any team, I think Pansy mentioned it as well, if there's any team that can navigate this post-plant utility meta, the shock darts, the snake bites, FNATIC did it, 2 or 3 times?
Yeah.
In pretty quick succession, so they just look really good across the board.
Dan, here is
they
this
did
moment.
look really good.
I just wanted to clarify this, Potter. I'm so sorry. Wait a minute. We just we gotta zoom in on this real fast. This is the moment that everyone is talking about. Average Jonas, I see you, Poppy. Look at this moment here. The shot heard around the world. Penny getting a kill because the Sage decided to let the hands loose. Yeah, use that one. Use that one for yourself, Plat Chat. All right, your tools. Anyway, they've been making fun of me this whole time. Besides one time, a sideshow said something nice about me. Potter, your thoughts on that match? I'm just gonna give you the floor. This is all you. What do you think about what happened for that game?
I just needed to point out that although version 1 lost, I thought that their game plan, it was completely sound, right? We saw the two controllers coming out, the Viper and the Omen, cutting off the information game, denying that sort of info by cutting off the choke points either with the Viper wall and the Omen smoke towards A, and allowing Zelsis to get those timings in the lurks towards mid. They had backup plan after backup plan. It is unfortunate that the one variable of Durkee just completely coming out and stopping all these plays that were coming, but there were so many opportunities because of these check marks across the board for version 1 in their game plan. But yeah, I just wanted to point out that I really enjoyed this composition coming up from version 1.
Yeah, it's always nice to see something that tries to push ideas further and gives you something else to talk about. It's not fun if you're just running the same compositions on each side, Veli. I know that it's always something that you see in a lot of other games and even in Valorant as well. But when you challenge what is the conventional thought, it actually opens up quite a few doors.
I think ultimately what both of you are trying to present to the audience right now is the fact that their post-plant meta is just so sound. I mean, you take a look at Zelsis, someone who's very strong on the duelist, right? But he's on Killjoy, but there's a reason for that. You have the nano swarms, you have Viper with the toxic bite, the walls, everything.
Yeah.
But the thing was, we saw them slip up on those post-plant executes. You saw FBs miss out on those shock darts. Potter, you saw it. He was way too eager, shot out both of the shock darts, missed it, and that was still another free round for FNATIC.
Yeah.
They're going to have to warm up, and I think that they started off map 1 extremely cold as well. They weren't shooting well.
Hey, but credit where credit's due, because FNATIC played incredibly well in OT. They come back, pick up the dub, and now we move on to map 2. And let's hand it over to the dynamic denim duo of Panpoc. Yeah, I did that. No regrets.
No regrets? The double Ds? Okay, fair enough. We're all big fans. But at this point, we do need to start putting our attention towards Ascent. I think this is going to be such a key game. Now, bear in mind, we've seen good looks and bad looks from both of these teams rolling it back on this map specifically. We've seen answers made to them, some of the pressured moments certainly coming to a forefront. But again, I'm glad Potter kind of alluded to it, that Durka he was on in that last map. I mean, remove him from the equation, it could have been a different result, but it's how it happens. How many times have you seen one player just have this huge pop-off performance, and you can't take it away from the guy? I mean, he's had one NA team make him look absolutely out of sorts, and now he's found his form in this second meet that they've had. So good to see him bound back, but hey, are we going to forget that we saw Penny absolutely tearing people up before? Absolutely not. These guys are the real deal, and version 1 have shown this time and time again. The question is, can they do it here, Hypoc?
Yeah, and I mean, we're coming to a map where obviously they went back and forth with new turns throughout the entirety. Take a look at the agent select here, presented by Prime Gaming, and Keynotes, obviously, Magnum, this is the one map that he flicks back over to the Cypher, and more recently, I mean, Mystic adopting the Viper here as well. It wasn't previously part of FNATIC's composition here, but no other surprises, really. I mean, looking at V1's, no adjustment once again, other than Jammies coming onto the Killjoy here, which is interesting, because obviously previously that was the Viper pick. So going without the Viper Astro kind of strength here that I was expecting on Ascent, and Zelsis flipping back onto the Phoenix, which was a talking point in the previous map. As I said, a slight composition change on Icebox, and it looks like actually we've got it in a total 180 in the other direction here on Ascent.
I like that. All right, bit of a change up. Keep in mind, this looks different to that new turn game. Your different roster to an extent on the roster, but agent selection. So again, this could be quite unique. If they prepped for that game, if they watched the most recent tapes, this could be a different look.
It could be a little more kind of frontline support to Penny in that role. But yeah, I think that V1 have played Astro and Viper so well that this is